Gaming is a world in itself. I was an avid gamer at one point in time. I still do play them, but mostly on my mobile when I'm in between things. When I do play games, they are free puzzle games. I don't subscribe or pay because I don't get much time to play. Often, when I complete a level in a game, I am required to watch a 30-second video about a new smartphone accessory in exchange for extra coins. That's one of the experiences of in game advertising. If you have experienced this, and whether you noticed it or not, you became part of a market that's quietly catching up with brands who want to connect with more people. Welcome to today's episode. I'm Shiv, and we are going to explore a channel that most brands are still sleeping on. A channel that reached over $124 billion in 2025 and is projected to hit $181 billion by 2030. We are talking about advertising inside video games. We already know that is a huge market. Roughly 3 billion people play games globally. That's nearly 40% of Earth's population. The question we are answering today is different. Why are most brands still treating this like an experiment instead of a pillar of their marketing strategy? And for those who are paying attention, what's actually working? Let's explore this map a bit further. The in gaming advertising market was valued between 60 to 124 billion dollars last year, depending on how you measure it. Different research firms use different methodologies. Some focus strictly on traditional mobile ads, others include dynamic integration and branded content. But they all agree that this market is growing at a compounded growth rate of around 10 to 12%. Just to give you some perspective on the scale of this market, the entire music industry generated about $26 billion dollars globally last year. Print media was around $47 billion. Dollars. Gaming isn't just competing with traditional entertainment channels, it's surpassing them in sheer economic scale. Now, if we look at this data from the point of view of gaming platforms, mobile dominates. According to some estimates, mobile games command about 56 to 58% of the in game advertising market. That makes sense when you consider that virtually everyone has a smartphone in their pocket. PCs punch above the weight in value. Esports titles and long sessions mean higher attention and stronger recall. So, PC environments often command premium CPMs. Gaming consoles are the careful, slower category in this space. Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo have historically locked down what could appear in or around games. Most brand deals are structured as custom sponsorships rather than plug and play media buys. Big AAA titles have been managed to protect player experience and brand perception. Instead of using the same ad buying tools you use for mobile to place dynamic in game billboards, console ads have been usually more like TV or sponsorship spots. For example, branded segments in esports broadcasts or logos and tiles on the console's main menu screen. But that's changing now. Programmatic buying has reached console and PC games. Many media buyers now consider Xbox and PlayStation games as a mix of CTV and gaming advertising because they get the big screen and shared viewing benefits of CTV plus interactive formats such as rewarded video and in game ads. But Programmatic ads in AAA titles is still away as most deals are very selective. VR and AR gaming still sit as small but very fast growing parts of the in game ad market. Most major reports still slice the space mainly by device, mobile, PC, and console, and then mention AR VR as an emerging subsegment rather than giving them a full separate revenue line. Market projections show that AR gaming market might grow to about $102 billion and VR gaming might reach $313 billion by 2032. Currently, AR VR in game ads appear as immersive product placements, spatial overlays, or event based experiences. In game ads in AR VR are growing very fast, but they are still edge of the curve channels. Geographically, North America holds the highest share at 36% of the global in games ad market. The US alone is expected to generate substantial revenue. This is partly driven by high engagement with esports and streaming platforms like Twitch and YouTube gaming. American gamers are also more accustomed to free to play models that rely heavily on ad revenue. But the real growth is happening in the Asia Pac region. The market is expected to grow by 34% by 2030. China leads the pack, followed by Japan and South Korea. This is largely because of highly engaged gaming populations and sophisticated mobile ecosystems like WeChat and Line that integrate gaming and commerce seamlessly. India is growing pretty fast too. Europe sits somewhere in the middle. The UK, Germany, and France are leading the charge there, with a growing focus on programmatic advertising and rewarded video formats. But why so much of ad money flowing into this space? Shift in time and attention is one. Players are spending more hours gaming than scrolling in some segments, especially Gen Z and younger millennials. So, advertisers are following the attention. The free to play economics works quite well. A huge chunk of games, especially on mobile, are free to download and run on mixed business models such as in app purchases plus ads. Some studios saw revenue jump around 30% because of this hybrid monetization model, which makes publishers much more open to ad partnerships. Availability of better tech and formats is another factor. Dynamic in game placements, where billboards, hoardings, or virtual objects update on the server side, already account for roughly 38% of in game ad revenue. Rewarded video and audio formats are growing even faster. These have allowed advertisers to move away from clunky banner ads. Plus, technology is making ads less intrusive and more relevant. Ad tech vendors now plug directly into game engines and ad servers. They can now offer viewability metrics, brand safety filters, and fraud detection similar to web and app inventory. This makes in game feel less like an experiment and more like a proper line item in a performance marketing plan. And cultural relevance is also there. Gaming is no longer niche, it's a default hobby, a social space, and a professional sport. This is all good, but who's actually winning with in game advertising? I researched success stories from across the world to show you how diverse approaches can be. American ice pop brand Bomb Pop partnered with Roblox to integrate their products into the Restaurant Tycoon 2 game. This wasn't a banner ad, rather, a fully immersive integration where players could buy and sell virtual bomb pops within the game. More than 50 million virtual bomb pops were exchanged. Players spent an average 12 minutes engaged with the brand integration, with 28 minutes of total game time per user. But the real value was a 20% jump in real world sales of actual bomb pops during the campaign. This immersion over impressions approach worked because the brand didn't interrupt the game, it became part of the game. In the UK, Maybelline partnered with Activision Blizzard Media to launch a campaign for its Lifter Gloss product. They used rewarded video ads across Activision's mobile gaming portfolio, including titles like Candy Crush. The campaign focused on providing value to players. Watch the ad, get in game rewards. The creative was eye catching, the placement was strategic, and the results spoke for themselves. This helped increase brand recall and purchase intent because the brand respected the player first ethos. The ads were optional. They were relevant to the largely female audience of Candy Crush. Let's stay with Candy Crush a bit longer. Prada Candy took integration a step further by creating a playable brand experience. They didn't just create an ad, it was a mini game within a game that featured Prada's branding and aesthetics. This led players to interact with brand for extended periods because it was fun. Instead of forcing a message, they created an experience that aligned with both the game's mechanics and the brand's identity. This approach is quite common in Europe, where GDPR regulations have pushed advertisers towards more contextual, consent based targeting rather than aggressive data tracking. Then there's the case of the popular Chinese game Black Myth Wukong. Its makers went beyond just relying on in game ads. They turned it into a platform for brand collaborations. Luckin Coffee, China's largest coffee chain, partnered with the game for co branded campaigns. Even global tech giants like Nvidia jumped on board. The game sold 10 million copies in 3 days and generated $852 million within 2 weeks. It created a cultural moment that brands wanted to be associated with. Japan has many such success stories too. A lot of in game advertising value sits inside mobile titles and collaborations between brands, anime IP, and games. From branded events in gacha games to tie ins with convenience store chains, the pattern tends to be around time limited events, exclusive skins or items, or offline and online integration, such as buying something in store and unlocking something in the game. A common thread that you can find is that the brands tend to respect the player, didn't disrupt the gaming experience, focus on providing value, and recognizing that gaming isn't just a channel, it's culture. So, if the opportunity is this big and if there are clear success stories, why aren't more brands jumping in? Well, many brands still view gaming as something to pull from an innovation budget rather than a core marketing pillar. It's treated as bleeding edge, nice to have, or a test and learn channel. Why? Because it's complex. Gaming isn't one thing, it's reaching people on multiple platforms: PC, console, mobile, cloud, VR, and AR. Marketers like simplicity. They like buying a banner ad or a 30-second TV spot because they understand how it works. Gaming requires education, and frankly, many marketing teams haven't invested the time to learn. Brand safety is another concern. Gaming environments can be unpredictable. User generated content, live chat, violent or mature themes can emerge, and these create risks. Brands don't want their ads appearing next to toxic behavior or inappropriate content. Many brands have a popular misconception. They think that gamers are a gathering of teenage boys. In reality, gaming demographics are broad, often gender balanced on mobile, and span almost all age groups. Women account for 55% of mobile gamers in Japan. The average gamer age globally is over 30. Gaming spans demographics in ways that traditional media doesn't. But old stereotypes die hard, I guess. Then there's the issue of measuring success. Is it impressions or is it engagement time or conversions? ROAS at Meta or Google is more established, but in game metrics feel new and hard to get internal buy in. Standards for measuring in game viewability have been proposed, but the adoption is slow and different platforms continue to use different metrics. From the point of view of gamers, gameplay should be untouched. They don't like intrusive ads. So, if you disrupt someone's gaming experience with a badly timed and irrelevant ad, you're not just wasting money, you're creating negative brand associations. All these challenges are genuine but can be overcome with the right partners, clear brand safety frameworks, and small test budgets. If you're a marketer or a decision maker and you're wondering whether in game advertising is for your business or not, let's look at some of the industries that benefit from it. In the F&B industry, KFC, KitKat, and others have already shown that snackable products fit perfectly with snackable play. Short dwell times, emotional highs and lows, and the one more level, one more bite mindset works for them. Entertainment and streaming companies are big on in game ads. Games and shows compete for the same leisure minutes. Dropping trailers or interactive placements inside games lets you hit people while they are already in a content seeking mindset. Urban gamers are often the same people using ride hailing and food delivery. Being the default brand when someone finally puts the controller down is powerful for mobility and delivery apps. Gamers are very particular about hardware, connectivity, and latency. So it makes sense for PC, phone, and router makers and telecom providers to invest in game ads. Brands like Adidas, Prada, and even luxury labels are exploring gaming. Virtual fashion is becoming a thing. Players spend real money on digital outfits for their avatars. That's not just branding, that's commerce. Even fintech brands, banks, and investment platforms targeting younger demographics should pay attention. Educational advert games, financial literally tools integrated into games, or sponsorships of esports tournaments can build trust with Gen Z and millennials who are not that much into traditional finance. On the B2B side, and this is interesting, there's a rise in serious games and gamified learning platforms. For an edtech brand, sponsoring in platform events, leaderboards, or rewards can position them as the fun upgrade to traditional training. Many gamers are also creators, developers, and marketers. Sponsoring esports tournaments, game jams, or productivity overlays can reach early adopter professionals. Gaming conferences, esports broadcasts, and game dev environments already showcase engine brands, cloud providers, and tool chains. Here, in stream and in lobby placements around professional audiences rather than casual players can be beneficial for cloud infra and dev tools companies. There could be space for healthcare and wellness apps that integrate into games that emphasize well being. Ubisoft's partnership with Safe in Our World to address mental health in gaming is a model for how B2B health brands can engage authentically. However, for B2B, I wouldn't recommend dropping a random ad inside a puzzle game in an unthoughtful manner. They could explore esports broadcasts, developer platforms, and engine ecosystems or gamified learning platforms used by professionals. The key for all these industries is understanding that gaming isn't monolithic. You have to choose the right games, the right formats, and the right value exchange for your audience. Looking at the benefits the gaming ecosystem provides for targeting, even though the challenges are there, I think it has a major potential in the next 5 to 10 years. Right now, gaming is treated as specialty inventory. In the future, it could sit alongside TV, social, and search as a core component of media plans. Immersive tech like VR, AR, and the metaverse are still emerging, but they represent the future of immersive advertising. People could be walking through a virtual shopping district inside a game where every storefront is a real brand and you can purchase physical products delivered to your door. This sounds like science fiction right now, but the technology exists and the infra is being built. Platforms like Roblox and Minecraft already allow users to create their own games and experiences. Brands will increasingly sponsor UGC content, turning players into brand ambassadors and co creators. You don't need to partner with a giant publisher anymore. You can work with a community of creators building branded experiences within larger platforms. Cloud gaming is enabling players to start a game on one device and continue on another. That creates opportunities for cross device and cross platform reach and attribution. Marketers will be able to track that journey. I think regulatory scrutiny will go up. It is already happening and it is likely to increase around demographics you target, how you persuade them to complete the CTA, and how well you disclose branded content in games. Gaming is no longer a niche. It's the dominant form of entertainment for billions of people. And advertising within gaming is transitioning from experimental to essential. It's best for brands to move early, learn the nuances, respect the culture, and create value for players. It will help build customer relationships that last. Because in a world where attention is scarce and traditional ads are losing effectiveness, gaming offers something rare, an audience that's engaged, receptive, and growing. Thanks for listening. If you found this valuable, share it with people in your network. Make sure you subscribe the channel and stay tuned in. Until the next one, stay curious.